Hello there, Coles here, and welcome back to my follow-up video on my gaming setup. In particular, we're having a look at the all-in-one water cooler right here, made by Storm, and I think the brand is Deepcool. Yeah, it's the Deepcool Castle 240 RGB because it's got a 240mm radiator up top. So yeah, let's switch the computer on and take a look. So in the comments of the last video there was a couple of questions which I'll address in a minute. But what I'd first like to say is you can see that this third of the RGB on this circle water block bit is actually malfunctioning. It doesn't work in sync with the rest of it. You can't really tell at the moment because the whole thing's like in a rainbow mode. But if we put one of the modes on, then you will be able to see it. Alright, yeah, so now that the Aura Sync is turned on, you can actually see what it's like. If we put it in a static blue, for example, it's actually okay at the moment. It goes through periods of being alright and then it just suddenly goes all weird. I don't know if it's going to do it or not, but we'll see. And also the case fans at the front, they're not connected to Aura Sync, so that's why they're still flashing. They have a separate controller. This thing right here, you might remember from the last video. So we can just change it to whatever. Let's put it on blue for now. Yeah, so the all-in-one is actually doing okay at the moment. It's not going all weird. Maybe if we change it to red. There we go. It went a bit weird for a second. But sometimes it just does that all the time. And then other times it's kind of okay. And it looks like today it's decided that it's going to be okay. Yeah, you can see that it's pink. It's not blue. Okay, there you go. Now it's going all weird. Alright, so I'll have a look at the comments now anyway. So the first one, he says, WBoy says, nice video. I was wondering how the castle would look like when the motherboard synced. Do you have a video of wave when not in SA single color? Thanks. What exactly does that mean? I was wondering how the castle would look like when motherboard is synced. Well, the motherboard is synced. Do you have a video of wave when not in SA single? I take it's meant to say a single color. Okay, so does it do that? So wave in a single color looks like this. I don't know why the all-in-one comes last, but it does. By areas, so you can actually change each area to a different color. So I guess that's what he wants me to do. So I'll try and do that, I guess. I'm just selecting random colours here. There's no kind of strategy to what I'm doing. I'll make one a different shade, so they're all different colours. And I'll see how it looks. Okay, if I apply that, how does that look? So it's in wave with multiple colours. I made each part a different colour. As you can see, the all-in-one is not enjoying that. So that is the wave effect with a different colour for each RGB section. Alright, so the next comment. Can you set the CF120 to dual colours or rainbow colours using Aura Sync? I'm not entirely sure what that means, but we can try. So is that the fans then? Are the fans changing colour? I don't know. I think that's kind of rainbowish, I think. I don't know. Can you get rainbow colour like on Deepcool controller? Aura Sync rainbow look weird. Look like colour cycle. Okay, fair comment. I mean, we can try it out with a controller in a second, but I'm going to have to, rewire it and stuff, so just bear with me. But before I do that though, I'd like to talk about whether I would still recommend this Deepcool Castle 240 RGB all-in-one, and my answer would be yes. Although there is a slight fault with this one. I have no evidence that it's a occurring problem with all of them. So I'm sending this one back to get a refund, and I'll probably get the same one again, or the 360, because there is actually a 360mm version out now. So obviously that will have 3 fans and a 360mm radiator. Alright, and now I will plug in the controller so you can have a look what that looks like. Alright, so with the Deepcool Castle you actually get 4 wires to power the RGB. There's 3 for motherboards. There's one for an Asus motherboard which is plugged in now. There is this one, I'm not entirely sure what it's for, but I'm sure someone will know. Looks quite familiar, I've seen it before. There is also this one here, which I believe is for MSI motherboards, but I could be wrong. And then there's obviously the controller, which is plugged in now. So the controller wire actually goes from the wire that connects the 2 fans with the all-in-one RGB and connects the other end to a SATA power connector. So it's actually powered straight from the power supply. So I haven't actually used this controller before, so this is going to be the first time I've used it. There is a middle button, not entirely sure what it does, I just pressed it, and there's a plus and a minus button. But just before I do that, I will turn off the RGB, the Aura Sync RGB on the motherboard, and I guess I could turn off the front RGB quite easily just with this controller. Okay, so now we only have the all-in-one RGB on. So at the moment it's just on a solid blue. There's also this pink colour, white, and then there's like this flashing red. Obviously the actual water cooler is still broken. You can see on that top left third of it, but we can try and no, it just doesn't work. You can see how it's not working. so that's why I'm sending it back. But you can have a look at the fans anyway. The fans are okay. So what was the person's question? They were asking about using the controller. Can you get rainbow colour like on the Deepcool controller? Yeah, you can't in Aura Sync, but on this you can. Whichever mode it is that he's on about, I'm not entirely sure. Is it this one, I think? That's the one that you like see on pictures. You know, like online and on the box and stuff. It looks like this, I believe. So we're just cycling through the different modes at the moment. Obviously there's that 1/3 that's just going to make it look bad. So yeah, as I was saying before, I'm sending this back for a refund, and I'm either going to get it again, or I'm going to wait for the 360 version to be out in the UK. So at the moment it's not, but I'm sure it will be at some point soon. Oh, here's the rainbow. I think this is what he was on about. Looks pretty good actually. Yeah, they don't have anything like this in Aura Sync. They have like rainbow modes, but it just kind of cycles through the colours. It doesn't have multiple colours at the same time. Or should I say every colour at the same time? And this is like cycling through the different colours. That top left third definitely really doesn't like this mode. We've got like a pulsing cycle. That's pretty cool. I'm going to have to get an RGB fan for this back bit here and replace that back fan. And then we're back to the solid colours again. So the control mode is pretty good. The only problem I have with it is, if you have a look here, my case, the back of my case is open. This is one of those polystyrene things out of a shoe. Yeah, the back of the case actually has to be open unless you want the controller, unless you want the wiring out at the front. But I mean, who wants that on the BT? You put the wiring in the back where you can't see it. It's part of cable management 101. So yeah, alright, so I'll show you the... Alright, I guess the last thing I'll do is show you the all-in-one once I've taken it out, because I'm, you know, packaging it up and sending it back. So yeah, let's do that. Alright, so I've got the Deepcool Castle out of the case, which is now left to the bare skeleton of the case, and it's, you know, I'm about to put it in the box and package it up for returning, but I'm going to quickly go through what wires come with it. So if we have a look here, just move some of this stuff out of the way. So the wires coming from the actual cooler, we have obviously the fan cables for both of the fans separately, and also one for the water cooler, which you will plug into the water cooler pinhead on the motherboard. You can't see it, it's somewhere behind those graphics cards, but there's a 3-pin for all-in-one coolers, and you know, it'll be labelled on the motherboard as well, so that helps. And then the other cables, that, as you can see, there's like a second cable with each part, and that's for the RGB. There's one for the pump, there we go, and you know, the other one for the other fan. And so the fan, it actually comes with a fan controller, which is this thing here. So you plug each of the fans into one of these. There is 4 slots, so you can add an extra fan if you want. And this, which, you know, plugs into the motherboard, wherever it is, into one of the fan pinhead things. And then the RGB connectors plug into each of these. There's like 4 of them on this cable, and then that is like, it's the same connector as is on each of them, but obviously that just makes it come from one source, I guess. So that end there will plug into the cable that will plug into the motherboard or into the SATA power. So, for example, this, oh my god, they're all tangled up. Okay, so we've got this one here, which is, oh, I'm just trying to move the cables out of the way. Okay, yeah, so that's the one with the control on. So that end plugs into that wire I was just showing you, and the other end plugs into SATA power. So that is, yeah, the controller, the manual control. Then the one I was using is, where did I put it then? I just had it. Yeah, there's also this cable here, which is like a thicker cable, and it comes with a pin header and a pin plug. I think it's just like an extension cable. Yeah. So it also comes with the cable to plug it into Asus motherboards. Now you'll notice it is 3-pin, and that confused a lot of people because basically it goes onto this add header as opposed to this RGB header, which you'll also find on the Asus motherboard. So it goes on the additional header, not the RGB header, which is kind of confusing considering it's for RGB, but you know, whatever. Then we also have the one for MSI boards. I don't have an MSI board, so I can't really say anything about that. So they're the cables that come with it. And I've kind of made a mess there. You may also notice that the audio is different now because I'm pretty much, well, I'm recording with my Galaxy S9. I don't know which is better, but I think it's okay. So yeah, I think I might actually take one of those fans off and like say to them that it broke or something, so I can keep one and put it in the back of the case instead of that black one. I don't know if that's legal, but I guess we can try. Alright, well, thank you very much for watching. This wasn't the best video. It was kind of a bit of a pain to you know, get stuff set up and recording things, but it is what it is. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you probably when I get the new all-in-one cooler. Yeah, see ya. Alright, so I've sent back my Deepcool Castle 240 RGB, but I kept one of the fans and I still got a full refund, which is pretty good. And now I have just bought, well, I haven't just bought, I've just received, it just got delivered today, the Deepcool Castle 360 RGB. So obviously it's pretty much the same as the 240, but it has an extra fan and an extra 120mm of radiator. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. We've got the Asus Aorus Sync, we've got the Gigabyte RGB Fusion Ready, the MSI and AS, what do you call it? I don't even know what you call that. AS Rock. So yeah, be sure to stay tuned for the next video where I will be probably putting this in the computer, installing it, and checking it out. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in that next video.